Girls of Reddit, what is it like to be horny from a girl's perspective? When I ovulate, I literally ache down there until I have sex. It's uncomfortable and I can't think of anything else until it passes or I get laid. I rarely can time it when my husband is home, but the one time I did, I came so hard I literally passed out. In case anyone wanted to know my personal life, on behalf of your husband, if you could just fire him a quick text the next time it happens, I'm sure he'd be happy to leave work early, cancel poker night, wage a land war in Asia in order to help you out with that. Pretty much what everyone else described. You're warm, you can feel your pulse between your legs, and you're sensitive to any pressure or friction, and all you can think about is finding a moment to get off. So exactly like riding my motorbike then. For me it's a dull hot throb. My clit gets so sensitive and I'll get very wet. The snail trail in my underwear gets real bad. What I expected. Reasonable thinking and an explanation to things I don't understand. What I got. Horny girls being horny. 11 out of 10. I can't think straight and my vagina gets so swollen. And there's an urge to hump things and look for a man that will take control over you. Additional factor is my nipples get so sensitive that when I accidentally brush it off over things, I get so much wetter than normal. I feel heavy in my vagina. I squirm a lot, my mind wanders to sex frequently. I find myself staring at men a lot and mentally fucking them. Never the stereotypical sexy guy either. I love big, burly men with beards and bellies. I could ride them forever. Wait, what was the question? For me, it's a hunger, an animalistic hunger that does not calm down. My mind slowly stops thinking of anything unnecessary. It focuses on our bodies. My vagina pulsates and it almost feels like there's a low vibration. It's a build-up. The way I look at my partner, the way I aim to get close to him, the way I want to bite and eat him. As soon as we are engaging in anything, that spreads over my body, and from there, it moves into heightening that vibration to satisfaction. There is a warmth in belly and this tender feeling where slightest movement down there is gonna set you off, and the urge to have someone touch your skin and the urge to smell a scent that you want up your nose and a feeling like you want something to fill you up. I find I get a few kinds. There's the kind where you can sort of tell it's your hormones driving it, like your body going, okay, time to make babies. You're just at a particularly horny part of your cycle and anything can set you off. That kind feels like a sense of absence inside me because there is no penis in me, and I need it to feel complete. It's like a delicious itch that needs scratching or a hunger, and nothing but some penetrative sex will do it for me at that point. I get wet and want to jump men I find attractive. Seriously thirsty. I want to just be pinned down and down hard when I'm in that mood. Then there's the one where you're not horny but you read or see something that makes you hot and bothered out of the blue, and that makes me want to go masturbate rather than specifically have sex. It's like you see something that pushes your buttons or fits one of your kinks and bam, you're flushed and aware there's a lot more sensitivity downstairs suddenly. I get wet and I get a strong involuntary clench down below that squeezes my clit a bit. It's almost like the pulses you feel during orgasm. Strong and exciting. I often get this if I have a huge crush on a guy and he innocently touches me like on the arm or shoulder or something and I just die of lust. It makes your legs feel weak and you just feel like you need to touch yourself. Sadly, taking antidepressants at the moment is killing my sex drive, so it's nice to relive what I'm like normally. For me, it's just an unavoidable urge to have someone pin me down and be rough with me. Prepare for hundreds of guys to message you now. It's dependent on my mood. Sometimes I'm hot and throbbing. I feel my pulse between my legs. I just need someone to just take me and pleasure me, ravaging my body until my legs don't work, my voice is gone, and I've felt orgasm again and again. Kinky and playful will be my only satisfaction. Others, I want to be kissed and touched softly and passionately. A gust of wind will make me long for a tender touch. Careful to take the time to learn every crevice and curve of one another's body. It doesn't need to be orgasmic. but it does need to be passionate and loving. Either way, if I feel one way and don't get it, that feeling just keeps going until my thirst, my craving, is satisfied. I'm also incredibly self-conscious about how I look, so I need to be told I'm wanted, that I'm not just a hole to fill. I don't know if this makes sense. I'm just glad I don't have to hide an erection for days on end. Haha. An itch that you just cannot scratch, and every scratch feels more and more amazing. Your whole body wants to be touched, you want to be slammed into a wall or pinned down and be kissed, you want to be controlled and dominated, and the heat and wetness between your legs becomes more and more prominent with each passing moment. You need to be touched, and the hot breath and whispers in your ear get you going even more, and if you're too eager you need to be put in your place by yourself. Your entire body is starving. It's all you can think about, being devoured by your muse in every way possible. Dope and wine carry this to interstellar levels. In the case that I'm with my BF and I get super turned on, I feel slightly lightheaded, feel my face flushing a little, and get a lot of pleasant tingly sensations down there. I also feel like my moral compass goes a little haywire, and I start doing things that I normally wouldn't do, out of sheer horniness. It feels like a tight warmth in your lower abdomen and in the bits. I know for me, I tend to clamp my legs together and almost feel like I'm doing the potty dance. I'm sure it's not that noticeable to anyone else, but yet. Aggression becomes sexy. Physically, a hungry empty wet ache. Psychologically, can be frustrating as hell. Guys say that girls are better off cause it's easy to pick up guys. Well, no matter how horny I am, I can't sleep with a guy if I'm not attracted to him. The guy wants to get laid, my vagina is craving penis, but if there's no attraction then there's no forcing it. IDK, I'm a bit envious of guys saying that they weren't really attracted to certain women but had sex anyway. Perhaps I'd be less sexually frustrated if I could do that. My body heat seems to increase. I pant a fair bit. I get pretty wet. Actually, very hard to concentrate. As someone said in another comment, it is like a heartbeat in your vagina. Everything down there seems to throb and pulsate. My sex drive got nerfed from 5 years of antidepressants, so I don't really sustain arousal. But there is definitely so much extra heat. My clit throbs and I obviously get very wet. Usually the bother of changing underwear and wiping up isn't worth the few seconds of sensation I feel before everything shuts down. For me, it's hoping they'll grab me by the back of the neck and slam their penis into my mouth. My skin is getting hot just thinking about it. Like your heartbeat is in your vagina. It's this unwavering feeling of I need sex or I need penis, now which can creep up on you out of nowhere. There have been times where I'm commuting, having a coffee, at work, or in the middle of a class lecture and boom, I'm horny. I can't stop thinking about sex or imagining it in my brain. Sometimes it goes away and it's just a small thought. Other times oof, not so much. Also my vagina gets wet x 500. My vagina will be throbbing, and if I'm in public every guy I see I just wanna bang right there. That's probably a little different from person to person, but I personally experience it as a soft pressure on my vagina. I often press my legs together when I get horny, and eventually a sort of pulsing twitching will start. When someone says or does something that makes me extremely horny, not with my body directly, but rather gestures or aesthetics that really turn me on, it's a tingly feeling that raises from my vagina up to my chest. Comparable to the feeling you get on a roller coaster. I get a sort of swelling in my insides and the thought very rationally hits me. You really want sex, duck. Where to find sex? Makes note to find proper dapping conditions ASAP. It's during the time of the month right before menses, where for 1 week long all I want as a sexual being is a warm body.